Have you ever wondered whether a single minute of video could shake an entire power structure? For some time now, rumors that Xi Jinping no longer controls the military or has lost his command authority have been quietly spreading. But this time, it's no longer just rumor. A clip that seems harmless at first glance, just a few dozen seconds that somehow slipped out, ends up exposing details that state media would normally cut without hesitation. Yet the biggest shock isn't what's in the footage. It's the question behind it. Who dared to release this clip? And why wasn't it dealt with immediately? Following the trail leads to a name that sends a chill down the spine. At the same time, CCTV aired images of Xi with an appearance never before seen on the flagship evening news. Piece by piece, everything starts to fall into place. Who is really pulling the strings? And where does real power actually lie? In this video, we'll dissect every detail and connect every fragment to find out whether that one leaked minute was merely an accident, or a 1-minute leak that sent shockwaves. Over the past few days, a short video, only about 1 minute long, circulating on X has become the center of heated discussion. Anyone who watches it comes away with the same impression. This is something the CCP's propaganda machine would never allow ordinary people to see. From December 3rd to December 5th, Xi Jinping hosted French President Emmanuel Macron during Macron's visit to China. During this reception, however, a video emerged showing Xi Jinping and Peng Liyuan stepping forward from behind a golden curtain. Xi's gait appears slightly unsteady, not particularly firm. This is followed by a brief exchange between him and a staff member. Then, unexpectedly, another staffer enters the frame, bends down, and squats to tie Xi Jinping's shoelaces, or possibly adjust his trouser leg. The camera does not fully capture the action. Xi immediately realizes that this behavior is inappropriate. There are many people around, cameras are rolling, and the Macrons are about to pass through the doorway ahead. He lightly pats the staffer on the back and gestures for them to leave. It's important to understand that all publicly released images of Xi Jinping, photos or videos, are meticulously selected and carefully edited by state media. This segment should, without question, have been cut. CCTV would never air it. That is precisely why, when this clip is compared with Xi's carefully curated image in official media, it reveals a great deal. The most critical question is this: how did it get out? Who filmed it is not really in doubt. It was almost certainly shot by state media photographers positioned on site, whether from Xinhua, CCTV, or possibly the French president's accompanying media team. But why was it circulated? China undoubtedly has its own recordings of this moment, yet after the incident, no one coordinated in time to remove or suppress it. First, commentator Wen Zhao points out that this clip is humiliating for Xi Jinping. Does it imply that the General Secretary cannot even tie his own shoelaces? Or that bending down is difficult due to health problems? Or that he requires attendance even for something as trivial as shoelaces, treating himself like an emperor? Clearly, exposing this video is meant to flip over the carefully constructed image of a people's leader who serves the people. So who is really serving whom? Does he serve the people, or do the people serve him? Even tying shoelaces requires the people to do it for him. From the party's perspective, this would be considered malicious smearing and hostile sabotage. Second, some observers have focused on the bright yellow curtain behind Xi, a color traditionally reserved for Ming and Qing imperial royalty, and see it as a reflection of Xi Jinping's imperial preferences. In fact, this tendency has been evident for some time, from his 2018 tour of the Forbidden City with Donald Trump, to later receiving Carrie Lam while seated on what resembled a dragon throne, with a gold cup decorated with dragon motifs placed before him, staging a scene reminiscent of an emperor receiving vassals. Such imperial elements have appeared around him more than once. If it happened only once, it could be dismissed. But repeated appearances suggest a genuine personal preference. Otherwise, those around him would not keep arranging such symbols within his limited visual sphere. This stands in stark contrast to the humble, down-to-earth image he has long sought to project. Third, another detail stands out. Xi repeatedly and impatiently asks staff members, "Have the ceremonial cannons fired yet? Were the salutes fired?" Only after a while does someone respond, "Yes, at Tiananmen." The cannons fired as soon as you got out of the car. Under standard diplomatic protocol, welcoming a head of state involves a 21-gun salute. If it's a head of government, such as a prime minister, the number may be reduced to 20 or 19. The CCP, which prides itself on being a great power, is notoriously strict about ceremonial protocol. There is no room for mistakes. Xi's question, "Were there cannons?" makes him appear oddly out of place, as if unfamiliar with diplomatic procedures, which seems completely inconsistent with his political experience and status. Commentator Jiang Feng suggests that while the question appears to be about ceremonial salutes, subconsciously it may really be asking, "Am I still the master here? Do the people holding the guns still obey my orders?" Another detail has also drawn scrutiny: the color of the military band's ceremonial uniforms. For more than a decade, whenever Peng Liyuan appeared at state events, the military band wore red jackets and white trousers. Even Xi Jinping himself coordinated his attire to match hers. But since the restructuring on April 23rd this year, the uniforms have been uniformly changed to a subdued, simple army green. What reality does this reflect? At the September 3rd military parade, Xi's remark that people can live to 150 years old was also inadvertently picked up by audio. With leaks happening this frequently, it no longer looks like coincidence. Is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Who dared to post the video? The 1-minute video on X that I mentioned earlier had already racked up 2.5 million views by December 8. But the X account that spread it wasn't the original source. Everyone assumed the CCP's propaganda loudspeakers would never air something like this. But I'm afraid we were all wrong. The Zhongguo Nemu channel discovered that this time they really did air it. Something unprecedented. Who aired it? The ones holding the guns. The CCP's National Defense News Communication Center. The video first appeared on YouTube on December 4th, on a channel called Huaren Fengchai, Chinese Presence. Take one look at the channel and it's obvious. Nearly all of its content focuses on the CCP military. This is clearly a propaganda account tied to the armed forces. Without question, it has a deep military background. In the channel's description, there's a line that reads, 34 Fuwai Street, Xicheng District, Beijing, postal code 32, National Defense News Communication Center. That pretty much says it all. This account is operated by the CCP's National Defense News Communication Center. And where does that center report to? It falls directly under the Political Work Department of the CCP's Central Military Commission. In other words, this account doesn't just have military backing, it has very deep military backing. Given how explosive this video is, there's no way it could have been an oversight by the CCP's propaganda machine. That kind of mistake simply doesn't happen. At first, we even wondered, would the military really dare to act so bluntly? But once you watch the full 11-minute version, every key detail is intact. Not only is there footage of Xi glancing toward the doorway and gesturing to his subordinates, looking as if something awkward or secretive is going on, but there are also shots of Xi turning back with a gloomy expression. His face puffy, aged and helpless. Before Macron enters, Xi is seen blinking repeatedly. Just those frames alone make it completely illogical to claim that Xi approved the release. And right when Peng Liyuan first appears, there are small, unguarded movements, adjusting her dress, fixing her clothes. Forget CCP propaganda for a moment. Ask any woman whether she'd want such moments shown publicly. It goes against basic common sense. Yet this very video was released in full, without omissions, by a military-backed account, and broadcast to the entire world. Tell me, isn't this ironclad evidence that someone within the military is openly fighting Xi? Here's something even more telling. From December 4th until now, while millions of overseas netizens have been fiercely discussing the video, the channel has done nothing. No takedown, no edits, no damage control. Views have already surpassed 210,000. So the real question is, why would the CCP military do this? And since the account belongs to the Political Work Department of the Central Military Commission, who is really calling the shots? It's fair to say this is an unprecedented signal since Xi came to power. We all know that the former head of the Political Work Department was Miao Hua, a staunch loyalist of Xi. From August 2017 until his downfall, this department was firmly in his hands. After he fell, who took over? Reports say the person now running the political work department is Jiang Shengmin. In May this year, at a CCP Advanced Model Commendation Conference, Jiang Shengmin attended as the military's representative. In the past, this type of event was handled by the military's political work system, clearly indicating that Jiang Shengmin has assumed Miao Hua's former role. According to Zhongguo Neimu, it's widely known that Jiang Shengmin has close ties with Zhang Yoxia. The 9 full generals personally promoted by Xi were all cut down one by one under Jiang Shengmin's watch. Not only did Jiang Shengmin sever Xi's core military wing, he also used the very platform under his control to expose footage that Xi and Peng least wanted the world to see. Anyone familiar with the CCP's long history of internal power struggles knows this is absolutely no coincidence, especially when the conflict involves the gun. Observers believe this incident once again proves that Xi has lost control of the military and that the video was deliberately leaked. The ancient prophecy of Tuibei II spoke of a military man bearing the character Bo, bringing trouble to CCP leadership, and now Xi has indeed been struck at a vital point. And not by one person, but 2, Zhang Yoxia and Jiang Shengmin, both names containing the character Gong. And it doesn't stop with the military. Even the CCP's most important propaganda loudspeakers are beginning to send unusual signals, starting with CCTV's flagship program, Xinwen Lianbo Evening News. Are the state media also showing their hand? On December 8, CCTV aired a segment on Xinwen Lianbo Evening News, reporting that on December 3rd, Xi Jinping chaired a symposium at Zhongmanhai on this year's economic situation and economic work for next year, framed as an exercise in listening to opinions. Following the CCP's usual propaganda practice, all major official outlets reposted the report in unison. But when you actually watch the video and look at Xi's appearance, you see something never before shown: disheveled hair, a gaunt face, vacant eyes, and an overall look of exhaustion and lifelessness. The hair in particular stands out. Xinwen Lianbo has never aired footage of Xi in such a state. Frankly, this is no longer about whether he's healthy or has suffered a medical episode. The real question is, why would the CCP's propaganda loudspeakers air him like this at all? You have to understand that Xinwen Lianbo and the People's Daily are absolutely not objective media. For decades, their job has been to promote party leaders. Of course, that doesn't mean there are no people with a conscience inside the system. Anyone who understands the CCP knows that many officials and party members live double lives. Many go along just to survive. But given China's current economic situation, resentment isn't limited to ordinary people. Many within the system are also seething. Incomes are down, pressure is up. Who isn't anxious? Who isn't frustrated? Their resentment is no less than that of the public. Do you think only ordinary people curse Xi? People in the propaganda apparatus do too. People in the military do too. Even figures at the level of Zhang Yoxia complain. Regardless of faction, on this point they share a remarkable consensus with the Chinese public. Now compare this Xinwen Lianbo footage with the video released by that military-linked account. If Xi truly held absolute power, videos like these could never have appeared. No matter how deep the resentment in the military or officialdom, people would only dare to be angry in private, not speak out. Yet now these videos not only exist, they appeared at the same time. Could that really be a coincidence? Absolutely not. There is only one explanation. Xi not only can't control the military anymore, he also can't control the propaganda machine. That's why both things happened simultaneously. There's more. In the December 11 reports by CCTV and Xinhua on the just concluded Central Economic Work Conference, another anomaly appeared. In previous years, Zhang Yoxia was never deliberately highlighted. But this year, at exactly 1 minute and 47 seconds in, earlier than ever before, CCTV cut to a shot of the Politburo member, placing Zhang Yoxia squarely at the center and emphasizing his importance. Is this a coincidence? Or is CCTV cooperating with higher instructions to spotlight Zhang Yoxia's presence? Some readers might object. That doesn't seem right. Look at the PLA Daily, the People's Daily, even Xinwen Lianbo. They're still praising Xi. Those recent videos are strange. Sure, but how do you explain all the flattering coverage? Let's step back into history for a moment. On October 6, 1976, the day of the Huairan Hall incident, Hua Guofeng and elders like Ye Jianying and Li Xianyan arrested Jiang Qing and others. At the same time, they did something else. They ordered Jing Shao to lead troops to take control of the CCP's major propaganda outlets. Did Jing Shao seize Beijing Radio and Central Radio to announce Jiang Qing's arrest? Not at all. He did just one thing. He detained Deng Gang and his subordinates and reviewed the tapes scheduled for broadcast the next day. Any phrase containing "act according to the established guidelines" was cut out entirely. The move was tiny, so tiny that no one on the Chinese mainland noticed. Not the public, and not even many CCP elders. So how did people eventually find out? Through rumors. Was it only ordinary people relying on rumors to understand what was really happening? No, even Deng Xiaoping relied on rumors. His son-in-law, Xiping, got wind of it and rushed home to tell the Deng family, in the bathroom. Why do you think the CCP later kept insisting, "Don't spread rumors, don't believe rumors"? If rumors were all fake, what would they have to fear? They ban them because they know better than anyone. Some are false, but what threatens them most is that some are true. Major events always leak out through rumors. Look back over the past several decades. Haven't the CCP's biggest secrets almost always surfaced through word of mouth? If not, why do people say that rumors are prophecies that arrive far ahead of time? For us ordinary people, the best response to rumors is simple. Wait and see, calmly, and let the CCP prove things for itself. What do you think about these videos?